Well, it's official, folks, the Neon meta is finally dead. And if you're an average Valorant player like me, this should be a huge sigh of relief to you and, frankly, everybody else in Ranked. Because lover or hater, Neon's build as it stands right now represented an oppressive force, the likes of which we really haven't seen since, well, Chamber. So, what are they planning on changing? As detailed in a patch preview that was just recently released, Neon's slide and Neon's ultimate are getting pretty significant nerfs. First off, the slide count is being dropped from 2 to 1. Secondly, Neon's gun accuracy while sliding is also getting a nerf. They say that it's going to be akin to more like if you're crouch walking while spraying your gun. Secondly, Neon's ultimate is getting a tighter timing. I assume what this means is that the bar is going to drain much faster, which means you can't simply pop it at the beginning of a round and run it down mid anymore. They say this change will force Neon players to have to think a little bit more strategically about how they use their ult. And finally, Neon's ultimate is going to be raised to 8 ultimate points. So it's going to be that much less likely to have to face more than one Neon ult and a half. Now, what does this mean for you, the average Valorant player? For one thing, it's going to be a drastic nerf to a lot of those all-aim, no-brain, charge at the enemy team Neon mains that you've probably encountered in your lobbies. Hopefully this also means that you'll encounter fewer Neon mains on your team, inting and punting off your RR trying to hit a clip for TikTok. On top of that, more counterplay for her ultimate means that her ult is going to feel way less oppressive. Now, we don't specifically know what tighter timing exactly means in terms of actual gameplay, but in the examples given, it sounds like the ability to just run away from her is one of the things that Riot's trying to accomplish, thus making her ult a little bit more Clove-like. So, theoretically, no more Neons just solo ulting your whole team. Now, there's supposedly some Vyse quality of life changes coming as well, specifically around Razorvine, but we don't really know anything about it. Now, the last point on this is some changes to the ping system, and I think these are actually going to be more important than you probably think. So first off, pings on the map are no longer going to populate in the actual game world. And secondly, smokes will now block pings like walls. Now, why is this so important? Well, since the release of maps like Sunset and Abyss, we've seen a real uptick in the plant safe and spray from main behind smoke meta. And if you don't think that's a big deal, Sunset itself has gotten map-specific nerfs just to try and break down this type of play. But the meta is still alive and well on newer maps like Abyss or even older maps like Haven. So how does this change nerf that type of post-plant setup? Well, for one thing, you won't just be able to plant open or plant safe and ping spike anymore. And if you try and ping the spike through the smoke, it'll just hit the edge of the smoke. This means your sprays through the smoke are going to be way less accurate. Or, and what's much more likely, you're actually going to have to set up post-plant and not just bail out to main. That means if you want to have a really easy long hold from main, you're going to have to prioritize taking down the enemy smokes. Or you're going to have to make sure that you're bringing a Cypher Cam or a Sova Dart. Ultimately, I think this is a good change and forces teams to actually have to think about how they're going to hold these sites post-plant, and not just default to running back up main. But those are my thoughts, the views of an average Valorant player. What do you think? Do you think that now that Neon's finally been nerfed into the ground, you'll make it out of silver? Or do you think these changes are too little too late? Let me know. But yeah, anyways, that's it for me. Love you. Bye.